Hello all. In this session, let's concentrate on the database concept. So the question which I have taken is going to be from May-June 2023. Let's just jump right into the question, and you should note there is going to be an evidence document for database as well, which I will be taking from the supporting documents. And along with that, we will have a set of documents that we require for database, which is going to be mentioned in the question, task 3 database. So before we start, let me take the evidence document. I have the evidence document here. If you see, the evidence document is right here. Let's move to the question where evidence document information is going to be given. Open the file J2321 evidence.rtf. Make sure your name, center number, candidate number will appear on every page of the document. If it's going to be appearing on every page of the document, it should be on the either on the header or the footer. Save this document in your work area as evidence, followed by your candidate number. For example, evidence 9999. So you are going to be saving it as evidence, your candidate number, whatever it is. And this evidence document is going to be used for placing all your screenshots wherever required. For the document production, for the presentation, and for the database, this evidence document is very, very crucial. So let me go to my evidence document. Let me go to my supporting files. I have it here. I have the evidence document. Let me just open it. When I open it, it is going to be opened as an RTF file. I do not want it as an RTF file. I want it to be saved in the format of my particular document. That is, it's going to be Word. So let me first add the header or the footer like they have mentioned. It should have the name, center number, and the candidate number on every page. So since they did not mention header or footer, I can add it anywhere I want. So I'm going to be adding it in the header part. My name, my center number, and my candidate number. Okay, I'm adding it here, and then followed by that, I am going to save this document in your work area as evidence followed by your candidate number. So let me go here, file, save as. I'll go to browse and I will save it in the same place as my supporting file. Wherever the supporting files are there, I will save it in the same place. So please make sure before you change the name, make sure you change the format. It should be Word. Many of you miss out on this. It should be a Word document. So now let me change it to evidence followed by my, please don't mind, I will just put charge. Okay, followed by my candidate number. So I'm just going to save it there. After doing that, my evidence document is going to be safe here, and I'm not going to close my evidence document unless and until I finish my whole paper. It is going to come in handy whenever required. So now let me go back to my question. This is task 1, evidence document is done. Task 2, document production. We're not going to do it right now. We will jump right into the database. So my database starts in the 15th step. So my evidence also is going to be starting after the 15th step. So the first 3 steps may be for the document production. So let's go to the question. Examine the file J2321 results.csv and identify the most appropriate field to set as primary key. You have to understand something here. For most of the questions, they do mention the primary key. For a few questions, they don't mention the primary key and ask you to find out the primary key after examining or observing the file. So let's first open the file and examine it. It is going to be J2321 results. So let me open it. It is a CSV format. Please don't make any changes to this. This is the file that you're going to use it for the database as well. So please do not make any changes to this file. You're just going to observe it, try to find out the primary key and close it without saving it. So the first step, as usual, what we should do is select all the data and double click to make sure I can see the data completely. I want to see all the data completely. So I'm having all these fields here. So now I am going to find out the primary key after examining the file. You may figure out, like you may think I'm just going to see and figure out maybe start code will be the primary key or race number will be the primary key. And you have to understand something here. Primary key is a unique identifier. It cannot have duplicate values. So what I am going to do is I'm not just going to see with my naked eye and figure out what my primary key is. We will make mistakes. So here is when I am going to use something called as conditional formatting to figure out which do not have any duplicate values. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to press on the first value. I'm going to scroll down to the last value. Then I'm going to hold on to the shift and then press this value to select the data. Then I will go to conditional formatting. I'm going to create a new rule where I'm going to format the duplicate values. So I'm just selecting this. I'll format it. Color is the most easiest way to figure out which is not the same. So let's go to fill and let me just give any color I want. I'll just give this color. I'll give OK, and I'm going to find out the duplicate values in this selected range. So you see duplicate and unique is there. I'm going to find out the duplicate values. The one that has duplicate values will be colored here. So let me give OK, and then you see my whole data is formatted in such a way to give me duplicate values. Here if you see, obviously start code is having so many duplicate values. Last name, let's just figure out, last name is also having duplicate, first name is also having duplicate. Then let's come to the race number. I see race number. So far as I scroll down, I don't see any duplicate values, so this should be a good candidate for our primary key. But let's just figure out the rest of them as well. We have club name, we have cat code, we have year of birth, race time. Race time is also having duplicate, status, event rank, and cat rank. All of them are having duplicate values. So from this conditional formatting, we figure out that race number is going to be the primary key. As I already mentioned, do not save this file. Close it without saving it. After that, let me go to my question. I figured out my primary key. So the first step is done. Using the database software, import the file and set the following data. So let me do that. So I'll go to the place where my supporting documents are. I will create my access, that is database software here, database file here only. So let me right click and I'll create a new MS access database. I'm going to name it as, since they have not mentioned it, you can name it as your particular database name for the question accordingly. So let me just name it as database. I think this is task 3. So let me name it as task 3 database and let me open it. I'm going to open this document. I'm going to enable the content. Yes. And then asking me to export this, import the file. So let me just go to access. I will go to external data, new data source, from file. This is a text file. You have to understand CSV is a text file which is comma separated. So let me go there. Let me browse to, I have it in the downloads. I have it here. So let me open it. And then I'm going to import this data. Yeah, here itself when we are starting itself, they're asking all this data. It is really nice that you can set up all the data thing here. Let me go to next. First row contains field names. Next, comma is going to be the separator. Field name, start code, yes, duplicates. So let me go to the advanced here and let me choose. Now let's do this step together. This is a crucial step. Let me just put this here and then let me put this, sorry, not this one. I'm going to take this and I'm going to put this here. I don't think that will happen, so no problem. Let me just keep it here. So start code text, race number is going to be the number, YOB is going to be number. So let's just set that. Long integer, always remember an integer is going to only store minus 32,002 plus 32,000. So if you're going to have data something like 34,000 or 35,000, this may not work out. So for a safer side, always choose in long integer whenever it's a number. So YOB is also a number, followed by that race time is going to be date time format. So date with time, that this this data we will set after importing the file. We will set it in the design view. Status is going to be text. Event rank, cat rank is going to be number, which is again going to be a long integer. You note all of them are having 0 decimal places. Again, this formatting we will do once we go back to the design view after importing the file. So let me see. I already have it is long integer, so very good. Let's give OK. Let's give next. I'm going to choose my own primary key, which we have already decided it to be. Race number is the only one that is not having any duplicate values, so that is the one I can set it as a primary key. I'm going to give next. and I'm going to import it. I'm not going to save the import steps. Please make sure you're not clicking on that. I'm going to close. Also remember, when you are importing a file, there may be errors. When you see two files in there, or when you see an error mark, something, an arrow or something like that, it means you have imported wrong. I recommend you to delete the file and import it again. So right now, I think my file is not having any errors. I've imported the whole data in here. So now let me go back to the home and let's go to the question and see what they're telling. Set the identified field as a primary key. I have saved the data and place in your evidence document a screenshot showing the field names, data types and primary key used in the table. This is a crucial step. So let's go to the design view, and then I'm going to take a screenshot of this. But before that, let's make sure we are setting all this to 0 decimal places. So race number is going to be number. So race number is number. Once I press on race number, you see a small general and lookup tab on the bottom. So I can just format it here. Let it be this, and the decimal places is going to be 0. Similarly, what else? I have to set the decimal place for YOB, event rank and cat rank. So let me go to YOB, which is year of birth, and change the decimal place to 0. Event rank. Nevertheless, the data, it is good for you to go and change the formatting here. So let me change, it's already number, sorry. So you can just go and change it to 0 here. After doing that, one more important thing is race time is going to be in HHMMSS format. So let me press here. Once I press here, I can just change the data here. I have the format here. I can format it to HHMMSS, which is long time formatting. I've done that, and now I'm going to take a screenshot of this. They want a screenshot of us showing the field names, data types and primary key. So I'm just going to take a screenshot. You see Windows Shift S. I only want the Windows Shift S is for Windows computers. So I'm just going to take a screenshot of this. I only want the name of the file, so I'm going to take it. I have the primary key. I'm going to take a screenshot. Now this is going to be step number 15th evidence. I'm going to place it in the evidence document. So I'm placing it here. After placing it, I can actually format it in such a way it looks neater. Please make your work easier, that is examiner's work easier, format it properly. Followed by that, let's move on to the next step. And one more important step, as and when you do, please save it. Control S or file save. Please keep saving your documents. Next, import the file. There is one more file that we have to import, which is start times, and they have given the data. And this, for this particular question, they have mentioned the primary key, so that is going to be easy work for you. So, and again, I'm going to place in the evidence document. So before you do any step, it is good for you to read through the steps. You can come back and read it again, but before you start, read through the steps and then start doing your particular task. So I'm going to import the file. I have the following fields in the data. I'm going to set the group code as a primary key, and also I'm going to place in the evidence document showing the field names, data types and primary key, the same evidence whatever we did for the 15th step. So let me open my Access. Let me go to external data. I'm going to create new data source from a file which is going to be a text file. I'll browse it. This time it's going to be start times. I'll open it. I'll see, previously we didn't have 3 options. Right now, since there's a table already available, it's asking me whether you want to append it to the already available table. I don't want to do it. I'm just making sure you know about this. So I'm just going to give OK. I'm just going to import the file. I'll give OK. I'm going to go to the next one. Field, yes, next. And here is where I open my advanced, and I will see my question paper. It is having group code, text, everything text except start time, which is going to be date and time. So it is already date with time, so I don't have to worry about that. I'll give OK. I'll give next. I'm going to choose my own primary key, which is going to be the group code. They have mentioned that, so I'm going to give next. I'm going to give finish. I've imported the file and I'm going to close it. Now you see my start. This is here. Again, let me go to the design view. And in the design view is where I will make sure my date and time is in the format of HHMMSS, which is going to be long time again. After doing that, I am going to take a screenshot because they told me I have to put it in the evidence document. So I'm going to take a screenshot of this. I'm going to go to the evidence document and I'm going to paste it here. So again, I can format it to make it look better. And then moving ahead and saving it. Then let me go to the question. There's going to be another file, a new table to your database, which is cat codes. I'm going to set all the data types to text. Please, children, please make sure you guys are noting this down. These are very crucial, small nuances that they are telling, which you may not actually note them down. Set all the data types to text. So yes, that we will do. They have also told the primary key is going to be the cat code, and I'm going to do a similar evidence. I'm going to take a screenshot again. So let me go here. I'm going to import another data. I'll browse it through, which is going to be cat codes, and I'm going to open it. I'm going to give OK. Yes. Next. First row contains field names. Next. I'll open the advanced. All of them are short text. Then let me give OK. Let me give next. Choose my own primary key, which is going to be cat code. And then next. Finish. So that I've done, I've imported all the files that I want. And now for cat codes as well, let me close these because when taking screenshots, I don't want them to pop up. I want this to be saved. So now let me go to home. Let me go to design view. And they've not mentioned anything. There's no timing problems, no formatting that I have to do. I'm just going to take a screenshot of this. So let me just Shift S. I'm going to take a screenshot. There's a small mistake that I did. The primary key was not completely seen. I'm going to take a proper screenshot now. Now that I've done it, I'll go place it in the 17th step. I'll format it a little bit to match. Then I'll save it. Moving to the question. Create one-to-many relationships as links between group code here in start and start code in the results, cat code in the cats code table, and the cat code in the results table. So this is what I'm going to do. So let's go to create a relationship now. So for creating a relationship, I have database tools and I have relationships here. When I do that, this particular set of table is opening in the corner. If by chance this you're not able to see, you don't have to worry. You can right click, it will show table. Now I'm going to create a relationship between all the three tables. I'm just going to double click and add all of them. Now always make sure you completely see the data. You may lose mark if this is going to be like this. So please make sure you pull it down and see all the data, space them properly. And then now let's go back to the question. It's going to be group code in start and start code in results. So group code in start and start code in results. So I'm just going to create a relationship between these two. You see? Yes, I'm going to create a relationship. Next, I'm going to create a relationship between cat code in cat codes table, and cat code in the results table. So cat code in the cats table and the cat code in the results table I've created. Now that I have created the relationships easily, let's see the question. Place in your evidence document screenshot showing the one-to-many relationship that is I have created between results to cat codes, results to start time. So I'm going to take a screenshot of showing the relationship. But if it was only between two tables, one screenshot is done. But since it's between three tables, you have to take two screenshots. One is going to be between this. I'll just double click on this line and I'll just pull this down. I'm going to take a screenshot of the whole thing. Windows Shift S. I will take a screenshot of this whole thing. Okay, and I'm going to place it in my step 18 evidence. Now you see, obviously when you place this, it's going to come to the next line. So I will just automatically, I will pull it to the next page to make the examiner's life easier. I'll place it. I will reduce it and I will press next. Next, I'm going to take a screenshot of the relationship between these two. So again, I will put it here, this much like this. Again, let me take a screenshot like this. Yes, and then I'm going to again paste it and format it. After doing this, I'm just going to save it and go back to my question. So 18th step is done. 19th step, add the following as a new record in the results table. So they're just asking me to add a new record. I recommend you to create a form here. Most of the questions from database, they will ask us to create a form. Here they have not asked us to create a form, but they've asked us to enter a new record. See, it is easier for us to enter a new record using a form, and it'll also be a practice for you. So let's create a form for the results table. Let me just close this relationship which I'm done with. I want to save the changes. Let me close this as well. Let me create a data entry form. So I'm going to go to create form wizard. I'm going to create a form for the results table, and I want all the data here. So I'm just going to press the double arrow, press next, and I'm just going to create next. I can create just like results data entry form. You can name it anything you want, because it's not part of a step. We are doing is to make our life easier. Let me just finish it. Now you see my form is looking like this. My all the data is here, you see. Now I'm going to add a new data. So let's go here. It is going to be, let me do this so that it will be easier for me. I just reduce this. I'm going to add a new record. So I'm going to add new blank record, and I'll add the data, which is going to be HC06, and Waddle is the last name, and the first name is going to be Basil 1203 Power Cycles C5 1992 01:25:13. FIN is the status 122 and 68. I will just check my data entry for errors, and I will press, and let me just maximize this. I will press save. Let me go to the results table. Now I'll press save. I should have HC. I should have it here. Let me just search for it. HC06, right? Yeah, you see, HC06 Waddle Basil Power Cycles. This data we have added. So it's there in the file. So this step is done. Simple. It is simple because we use the data entry form. Now let me again maximize this. Using fields from the results and the start times, I'm going to produce a tabular report. Always remember, when they're asking us to create a report, it is going to be a query followed by the report. You have to make sure how many steps are there for report, how many steps are there for the query. So basically, let's read through this completely. We are going to select the records only group code and YOB, and they've mentioned some criteria. We are only going to show a particular set of fields, and we are going to sort the data into descending order. So you see, when sorting comes into picture, from there is where your report starts. That is sorting all we will do when we are creating the report. So I think only the first two steps are going to be there for the query. Very importantly, note, we are not going to group the data. Please note this particular line. And let's start. You see, so though they are telling select the record where this is the criteria, and then only showing the field. Showing the field is the first step that we are going to do, and then only we are going to apply the criteria. So let me just do this. Let me go here. Let's go to create a new query. I'm going to create a query here. I'm going to create a query using the results table and my start times table. So let me just double click. I have the data here, and I'm going to only choose the fields that they have mentioned very clearly, which is going to be group code, last name, first name, YOB. So let me just add that. Group code is here, last name, first name, YOB, and then I have status, race time, and event rank. Status race time and event rank. And they also mentioned they want it in this order. In this order. See, when you're creating a report, that after you do the query, when you're creating the report may not always reflect in the same order as you created the query. So it is your duty to arrange them accordingly, because they have mentioned in this order with data and labels displayed full. Do not group the data. So first let me, sorry, I shouldn't have closed this. First let me run it to see how my data is looking, then let me apply the criteria. So this is how my data is looking. Group code, last name, first name, YOB, status, race time and event rank. I hope all the data that I want is here. Then let's do this step of applying the criteria, where the group code is going to be HC00 and the YOB is going to be 1975 or later. So you have to understand 1975 or later means above, greater than 1975. If they are telling earlier means less than or equal to 1975. And since they have mentioned is 1975 or later, you have to put equal to there. So let me go back to the design view. I'm going to apply the criteria for my group code, which is going to be HC00. So let me just type HC00 and then my YOB is going to be, let's just run this to see whether this is reflecting properly. So let me run it. I have run it. My group code, if you see, all of them are only HC00. Now let me go back to the design view and apply the next criteria, which is for YOB greater than equal to 1975. How many ever criteria they are telling, do one criteria and run it, because you will be able to figure out where exactly you are getting errors. Since we ran it after HC00, now we are very sure there is no error in that. If we are going to get an error, it is going to be from this particular criteria. Let me run it again. Yes, after I am running it, I'm able to see all the YOB is after 1975 or 1975 only. So those two things are done, well and good. Now let me go here. Sorts the data into the ascending order of YOB. Now this set of steps, sorting the data, page orientation of portrait, fitting on a single page, including the title, scratch category outcomes displayed in larger font in the top of the page, all this will come under report. So let's do this step one by one. Now that I've created the query and I've ran the query, I'm going to create a report. Let me go to create report. So I want to save it. Let me save it as the query with the step number. So this is a query step number 20. So let me give step 20. Now I'm going to create a report. So I have to go to create a report wizard. I'm going to use the query to create a report. Understand very clearly, we are going to create a report from the query after applying all the criteria. I'm going to do this, and I need all of these only because I've chosen what I need only in the query itself. So I don't have to worry here. Let me give next. That is, I want all of them. I am not going to group the data. Very clearly they have mentioned do not group the data. So let me not group them. So I'm just going to come here and press next. Press next. Here my sorting is going to happen here itself. Is going to make my life easier. Let's see here. I'm going to sort the data in descending order of YOB. There's only one sorting that I'm going to do, which is YOB in descending. So let me press next. I want it in portrait. They have mentioned it should be in the portrait orientation only. Single page, tabular column, single page. We will do the formatting later. Let me give next. I can name the report what I want. So just name it as results report step 20, right? So let's just write step 20 to for me to understand which step this report is from. So let me just finish it. After I do this, this is how my report looks. Though my report is having all the data that I need, it is not having the data in proper formatting. You see the time and the rank is not visible, and it is not in the order of what they mentioned. If you see here, they have clearly told it should be in the order of group code, last name, first name, YOB, status, race time and event rank. But if you see, it is starting with YOB. So let me just change that. We have to format the report for it to look proper. Let me close the print preview mode. Let me go to the design view of the report. Oh, it's already in the design view. So let's first select, I don't want YOB in the front. So let me select and put it somewhere here. Then I want it to, sorry, I will select group code. I want group code in the front. Followed by that, I have last name, first name. YOB is coming after first name. So let me just select YOB, put it after first name. Let me select both first name, last name and move it. And I feel for first name and last name, I don't need, even for group code, I don't need such a big box. So let me just reduce it to this much. Let me reduce last name also to a particular amount like this. Let me move it. I'm doing all this because my time and the rank was not visible. If they were visible, I don't think any formatting is required. So let me just take this. Let me open this and let me move status. Let's see the data in status, because if it's possible, let me go to the query and see the status. Status is only 3 letters, so I think I can reduce the this for that also. So let me reduce the text box. So my mistake. This much is enough. Now let me pull them in the front, and then let's select this event rank this much and move it. Race time, obviously I need enough space, so I'm going to do this. Now let me pull this here. Now let's see the report view. Yes, I think they look good. Yeah, it's fitting in a single page, portrait orientation. So I think they look good. Let's continue doing the rest of the steps. So the next is, yes, page orientation of portrait. It's in fitting in a single page. Includes only the title scratch category outcomes displayed in larger font size, fully visible at the top of the page. So I'm just going to change this. For this, I again have to go to the design view. Scratch category. Let me select scratch category outcomes. I'm just going to type this. I will select the whole thing. I'll go to format and apply bold. Should be in a bigger font, maybe 24. You can change the font, your wish. Okay, I'm just going to give it Arial narrow. I'm going to increase it, and I want it this, and they have not mentioned any alignment. I can keep it here. I'm just going to apply it in the font, larger font. I think a bigger font also should work. Yeah, so I'm just going to do this. Select here, and I am going to select here. So now I'm able to see it in the big font. Followed by that, calculates the number of database records shown in this report and places this at the end of the report, fully visible, formatted to 0 decimal places. You have to very clearly understand what is the difference between at the end of the report and at all the pages. If they are telling at the end of the report, they are mentioning it should come in the report footer. Let me just increase my report footer. If they are telling I want this to be visible in all the pages, then you have to put it in the page footer. Right now I don't want anything in the page footer. They have not mentioned me to add all of this, so I can just remove it or just keep it. So let me calculate the number of database records. So to calculate the number of database records, I can take any of these. You can take any of the fields here. If it was a particular, like adding a particular set of values, then you will only have to choose that particular field. Since they are mentioning I want to calculate the records, any of these fields will work for me. So let me just take this first name. Okay, and I can just right click. You see total. See, all this is already nullified. Only count records are there. So let me just count the records. Automatically this formula is visible in the report footer. So now let me go to the home. Let's see in the report view how it is looking. There you go. I'm able to see 32 is the number of records there. So that step is done. After that, they are telling me as the label number of cyclists fully visible to the left of this value, they are telling me I have to add a label. If you are not able to see this particular tab, you have to go to the report design. There you see I'm going to add a label, not a text box. Please understand, you have to add a label. So I'm just going to add a label here. And I'm going to type number of cyclists, and I think it is a little bit bigger. I can actually reduce it. Yeah, there you go. Visible to the left of this value has your name, center number, candidate number on the report. See, it's name, center number, candidate number on the report. They are telling, they have not mentioned on every page of the report, but these type of sensitive values, since this particular database file is having only the report is having only one page, doesn't matter. But if there are multiple pages, still I recommend you to add it in the page footer or the report footer. These type of sensitive values should be in the page footer. So let me just, I don't need these things. I don't want the time and this. So let me just backspace it. I don't want, I'll just remove this. Or since I'm not able to remove, I will just reduce this. And I'm going to create, put a label here in the page footer to add the candidate name, center number, and the candidate number. So we'll add 035 and my candidate number. Now that I've done that, let me go to the report view and take a look at my report. Yes, they look good. My candidate number is visible here. Page number of cyclists is going to be 32. So now that step is done, place in your evidence document showing a screenshot the database formula used to calculate the number of cycles. That the count formula that we did, they are asking us to create an evidence for that. So let me go to the design view. Sorry, we go to the design view. I'm going to take a screenshot of this. So Windows Shift S, I'm just going to take a screenshot of only this. This is the formula that I used to calculate. I'm going to do this, and this is going to be step number 20 is the evidence. So let me place it here. This also done. Now moving ahead, save and print your report. So they're asking me to save and print the report. So let me go to home. Let me go to report view, Control S, and I'm going to print the report. I'm just going to go to file, print. Okay, Microsoft, since no printer is right now connected, I'm just going to convert it to PDF. I'm just going to give okay, and I will save it in the same place as my supporting files. I'm going to save it. Step 20, report print. This I'm just saving it for my namesake because we're going to give submit hard copies only. So I'm just going to give save, and my thing is ready. If you had wanted to see how your report is going to look, you can actually go to print preview mode. See, I made a small mistake here. It is going to 2 pages, so it should not be going to be 2 pages. It should be in only 1 page. So I am going to set the page up in such a way it is not going to go to 2 pages. So let me go to page setup. You see in the bottom I can actually reduce. Top and the bottom values can actually be reduced. Okay, then too I don't think it will be coming. Let me close the print preview mode. Let me go to the design view and reduce this. Okay, and maybe this is also not required, so I can just this. Let me just reduce this also. Now let me go to the page setup. We go to file, print preview. There it is now, in still it is only 2 pages. Let me try reducing the page setup to 3 and 3. Okay, I can't do any changes in here. Zeros and all the row spacing is 0. Let me give okay. Still 2 pages. single page orientation. When we try to print, let's see if there is any option. No. Let me change this to A4. Okay, when I do A4 is when my page number is also not visible. So I can actually go back to my print preview mode. I can reduce the size and bring it closer like this. And then maybe I will try reducing this. Can I? Let's see. Narrow margins, A4, page setup. Let's go back again to print preview. It's coming in one page now. Okay, now that I have reduced stuff, it's coming into one page. Now this is the one that I have to actually print. So let me give OK. I want this. I will just replace it. Yes, the report width may be wider than the page width. It's not a problem. So it's now downloaded as a report. Now all these steps are done. Let's go back to the question. Moving ahead with the 21st step. Using fields from the results and the cat codes table, produce a tabular report. So now this time I'm going to use the results and cat code table. As usual, I have a criteria to be applied. I will do that. But here notice status does not include DNF or DNS. I don't want them. And then I'm going to create a new formula for time per kilometer, which is calculated at runtime, which is I have to, after creating the query, I have to include the formula there. Then I have to build a formula there. This field will calculate the race time divided by the race distance of 50. So just simply race time divided by 50. Format this field to display the time at HHMMSS, which is long time format. This is a tricky part. Shows only the fields race so and so in the particular order with data and labels displayed in full. Do not group the data. Again, important. Do not group the data. Then till this step is where query comes in. Next, sorting, page orientation, single page wide, power club, adding the title, center number, candidate number, place in your evidence document. All this will be coming under the report. So only these first three steps are going to be the query. So let's go to the query. Very simple as usual. Create a query design, but this time I need to add cat codes and results table. Now let's note down what are the values that I need to add. I will be adding, see, the first two steps will be done after adding the values. So you have to understand they are not in the order. We will finish this step first and then we will go to the first two points. Race number, first name, last name. So let me also remember to pull this down. Race number, first name, last name. Then we have cat rank, club name, category, cat rank, club name, category. Then we have status, time and race time, which is here. Time per kilometer, where is that? Which is, okay, time per kilometer is the one that I have to build the formula for. So let's leave that there and then let me add race time. So now that I have to add a new data, let me go here. And now this time per kilometer is the one that I have to add it new. So let's just create a new formula, build a new formula there. The formula is going to be what? Runtime field will be calculating race time divided by race distance of 50. So let me create a formula here. Very simple. I right click. I build a formula. It is going to be from the table. I think it is in the race timers. Yeah, race time divided by 50, and let me give. Okay, also remember they are telling us to implement HHMMSS format. If you see here, the long time format, many people may face issue after running, after building the formula. Please don't run it. Before running it, you format it. So let's open the properties, close this. I am not able to see. Yeah, format. I am able to see the long time format here, but after you run the formula, sometimes this long time format may not show up. So before you run it, I recommend you to set the format and then change the name from expression 1 to, sorry, expression 1 to time per kilometer. So let me just change that to this. Let me see properly. Km, time underscore per underscore km. So please make sure you're naming it properly. Yes, after doing this, now let me run the data. Now you see my time per kilometer is in HHMMSS format. So before running it, make sure the format is set and then run the query. After that, let me go to this step of selecting the records. So selecting the records where the club name includes text power. So let's first see how my query looks. My club name is having all types of data independent of Avara. Where do I see power? Let me just control F, which is for finding, and let me keep. I'm not able to find the power. That's fine. Let me just scroll through it. I'm able to see power here in the end. I'm able to see empowerment power in the middle. I'm able to see power in the front also. So there is power everywhere. It's not only in a particular place. So when you're dealing with data like this, you have to apply the wildcards that we have learned. So here they are telling the club name should include the text power. So let me go to the design view. So club name is here. Since I want wherever the word power to be coming, I will add a star in the front and type power and star at the end to mention that I don't care what is in the front of this word. I don't care what is in the what is after this word. Wherever this word is coming, I want this to be reflecting. So let me just enter. So I've just added star power. Automatically when I enter, this formatting of the word like is applied. Now let me run. After running, do you see? I only have the club names that is having the word power in it. Followed by that, let me go back to the design view. One criteria is applied. Status does not include DNF or DNS. They do not want DNF or DNS. Here is where you are going to apply the logical operators that we have learned. I don't want this and that. I do not want. When I don't want something, I'm going to apply not. And since I don't want both of them, I'm going to apply and operator as well. So I'm going to go to status. I don't want. So I'm going to type not DNF and not DNS. I don't want this and I don't want that. After applying this, see automatically formatting is applied to double quotes. You see, let me run. So now when I scroll down, yes, well and good, I am able to see I'm not able to see DNF and DNS. Well and good. So now both my criteria is applied, this and that. Don't get confused by seeing the word or here. They don't want this or that. So whenever this pops out or that pops out, they don't want it. So you have to apply and operator in the middle, and the word not is for making sure this doesn't come. Instead of not, you can also apply this symbol which is specifying not here. So let me just run and show you. Both of them works properly. Okay, so let me go back to the design view and just change that to not only. I want them to be even. After doing this, sorting, now all these three data is for query, so that is done. Now let's go back to the I will just erase all this. Let's go back to the report part. So I'm going to sort the data in the ascending order of club name and ascending order. So here is two sorting is going to happen. So let me create a report. Let me run it and see my query. I'll just save the query. The query is going to be query 21, right? Yeah, let me give okay. Now let me create a report as usual. Report wizard. I'm going to create a report out of query 21. So yes, I'm going to add all the details. Next, I don't want any grouping. If you see, if you're going to choose cat codes, it is going to be grouped under category. I don't want that, so I'm going to show results. Next, I want it in the ascending order. Let me just go back. I want the ascending order of club name and ascending order of cat rank. So let me choose club name ascending, cat rank ascending is already set. Next, I wanted in which orientation. They have mentioned here landscape orientation. Let me change it to landscape. Next, let me name it as, here they have also told Power Club Results is the name they want. So beforehand itself, I'm just going to give Power Club Results here, and then I'm going to finish it. Once I do that, as usual, I have to do the formatting here. Yes, and then as your name, center number, this is going to be there. Power Club Results, I'm able to see already there on the top, displayed in larger font, fully visible on the top of the page. Yes, it is on the larger font, fully visible. Has your name, center number, candidate number, and also please make sure it is in the same order as they have given. You see, they want it in the race number, first name, last name, cat rank, club name, category, status, time, and race time. So let me change it. So let me close the print preview mode. Let me go to the design view. They want club name after cat rank. So club name, cat rank are in the front. Let's first include first name and race number and first. Let's put race number, first name. Let me select all of these. And let me select these two and let me put them somewhere here, and then let me select first name, last name stuff, put in the front. As you already know, I don't think we need enough like this much space for last name. Let me put it here, because you see race number is not visible completely. So let me just select that, increase this. Now let me just put these together. I think I've reduced it too much. Let me just increase a little bit. And last name, let me increase it a little bit. Then after last name, I want cat rank. I say I'm not able to see the cat rank at all because of this category and stuff. Let me also reduce the club name. And let me move category. And let me reduce the size of category as well. Now I'm able to see cat rank. So let me just increase the cat rank thing and put it after this. Now let me move these to the side. So a cat rank, club name, category, yes, that is there. Status, time per kilometer, and race time. So status also, it is only 3 letters as we already noticed. So I'm just going to move this. I made a mistake. I'm going to put time per kilometer front, and then race time comes in. Let me increase the size. Let me put it here. Let's see in the report view how my things are looking. See, empowerment raising. I feel empowerment club name, I need to give lot more space. Few words. See, team super powered, this and all is missing. So I can increase the space for club name. I think the rest of them look fine to me. So let me go to the design view. Let me just move all these a bit this side, like because I have space till here. Now I am going to increase the club name. Let me go to the report view. Let's see, yeah, there you go. I'm able to see, and it's only fitting in one page. Let's notice the first name also, whether they are in the having enough space for all the words. Yes, they do. So now that I've done that, has your center number, name, center number, candidate number in the footer of the report, so it appears in the same position on every page. They have mentioned it's going to be appearing on every page. Now also you have to understand here they are telling it should be single page wide. They did not tell it should be only a single page printout. They have only mentioned it should be single page wide, which means all my data should be in the single page. It can go to 2 pages, but how many ever pages it is going, it should be in a single page wide. This particular data in column wise cannot go to a next page is what they are mentioning. So I'm just going to do this step. After that, let's continue that and then let's come back. I'm going to go to the design view. I'll add in page footer, report footer, I don't have any work to do. I'm going to add a label in the page footer mentioning my name, and I don't want the property to be coming, and my candidate number. Here you go. So let me go to the report view. Yeah, my page number, my name, candidate number, center number is reflecting. Place in your evidence document screenshot showing the database search criteria used for this particular criteria, which is not including DNF or DNS. Very, very simple. I'm just going to go here and I'll go to the query. Query is where I applied the criteria, right? So I'll go to the query and I'll see if I have to increase this, and then I will take a screenshot of this particular thing is enough, but anyways I'm going to take a screenshot like this, and I am going to go to 21. I'm going to paste it, format it properly and save it, then come to my question, final step, save and print your report. So let me just Control S, which is Power Club results, is this report. I'm going to print it. Let's first print preview and see. Yes, it is single page wide. See, race time is there. Race time or time per kilometer, that is not going to another page. The second page is only because of this. It is single page wide, but it can be going to 2 or 3 pages that they have not mentioned. So it is a single page wide. Also, please make sure the size is going to be A4. When after doing A4 also, it should be in a single page wide. Now let me print it. Yes, let me give OK, and I am in the same place, but this is going to be step 21 report print. I'm going to save it so that it will be easy for me to give it for print later. So I'm just going to save it. Done. I think we are done with this question pretty much. We're getting 27 marks, but this is a very, very long paper. Please make sure you read every single step and you keep ticking on every step that you are doing so that you don't miss out on anything. So now that we are done, we can close database. Thank you.